Hello, everyone. I'm Jean-Claude at BeyondMystic, and welcome to this very special episode of Tarot Reading by Janine. On Monday night, you can find Janine, of course, for now, at Sending Ravens here on YouTube and also at Tarot by Janine. Janine, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Hi, Jean-Claude. Hi, everybody. I'm doing really good.
You
Really
look
good.
amazing. What's going on with this new background? You're like super crisp. I love the color theme. What did you do?
Yeah, so my daughter made me this beautiful crown and I wanted to honor it. So I changed my whole house around and moved into the purple room, my office into the purple room, because I wanted to wear the crown, which was pink. So if you go to a couple of days ago on May 1st on my birthday, I put, yeah, that's it. You can see it there. And I talked about the divine feminine with the crown on, but I honestly changed the whole room around just to suit the crown.
Yeah.
And then I noticed that I looked crisper on that background, so I'm keeping it.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. Guys, if you're joining us now and you love this new background setup, let us know in the chat if you love this. And of course, if you haven't seen the messages from the Divine Feminine, please do go check that out. And you can wish Janine a belated happy birthday as well. And we're going to get into this Elon Musk character a little bit more later on the show. So thank you, everyone, for joining us here tonight on this live interactive show. Again, tonight, as we are trying to simulcast, still having some issues here. Janine, is there any positive update right now, or are you still in jail? What's the status here with Sending Ravens?
No, so they're not even answering my emails, and they're just nothing. Like you can't really do anything on the channel.
Right, because I just tried again to see if we could simulcast tonight, and it says still no function or disabled or something like that. So okay, so let me just text into the live stream, because people are still in your YouTube video here, this one, waiting for it to go live. Just 236 people, as you see here. So let me just repost the link. Hopefully those guys see the link here and come and join us here on the Sending Ravens, or sorry, on the Beyond Mystic. Okay, so that's good there. And I've also put that into your Telegram. So hopefully we can capture those people and move them over to our side of the show, at least for this evening. People love the purple background, Janine. You're getting a lot of love in the chat. So that's really cool. All right. How was your weekend, Janine? So first of all, again, a big happy birthday to you. What did you do? What do you want to share with the audience?
Well, if they go to my Telegram, they could see a few pictures. I had a lot of fun with Ashley and my son. We went to Banff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were worried that I told everybody I was going to Banff, but we didn't run into anybody, no fans, nobody recognized us. It's okay. Everyone was like, oh, you shouldn't have told people. And it's like, I think it's okay. Yeah, that was us.
I love it.
We had a lot of fun. We had just stayed overnight and just did some of the sites. Ashley and I got up really early. There's some further on. There's some pictures of us on a frozen lake, Lake Minnewaca, I believe it's called, and it's just incredible there. And there was not a soul around. And
wow,
the place is packed.
Wow.
So yeah, cool. It was, and we saw a huge sundog around the sun, right? One of those big circles around the sun. I think we got a photo of it. But yeah,
it's really cool. Now, is that all on the Telegram? Oh, hold on. I have a few more.
On the Telegram. Yeah.
Okay, I have one more here. This one here. What are we looking at here, Janine?
Well, okay, that's at the restaurant we went for dinner. That was our view out the window of the restaurant. That's in the Juniper Lodge.
Incredible.
A great old place, but the food was incredible. I think they need a remodel. Like it looks like the light should have been lower because it was looking pretty shabby. But yeah, here's the lake. So that's Lake Minnewaca, I believe it's called.
Okay. Wow. Wow. That's absolutely wow.
And that was early in the morning, yesterday morning, and Ashley, or no, this morning. And Ashley got me to go out. Like I wouldn't probably, I'm not the type to go pre-coffee anywhere. Okay. And we had no makeup on and she dragged me out there. I just love that about Ashley. She's an Aries and she gets me to do stuff, whether I like it or not.
Does that remind you of anybody, Janine?
Yeah. You Aries are good because you light a fire under my Taurus lazy butt.
We get you out of your shell. Exactly.
Yeah. It was good.
Cool. Yeah. Love the little UFO. I have a UFO? No. Wait, love the little UFO could above your head.
I did see that. It looked literally like a UFO right above my head. Yeah.
Oh, you mean in the picture? Hold on.
Yeah.
Which one?
See, was that little?
Oh, yeah.
It was very strange. Yeah.
I thought they were talking about our little icon here somewhere, but no, we have the
Oh,
Merkaba.
I see.
Actually,
Yeah.
I got that wrong. Let's go to the Merkaba. And actually, let's put the UFO tonight. There you go. We'll keep that. We'll keep the UFO theme going. So there you go, folks. You have a UFO there. Hey, again, everyone, thank you so much for joining us on the live interactive show. Again, still no update there on Janine. If you guys want to support us, you can do so here at beyondmystic.net/Janine. There's a couple of ways to support us there, including just putting your name on the mailing list in case the channel does go down and we need to contact you to let you know where we will be broadcasting from. We still have this coupon code available, I believe, tonight or until tomorrow. I think the coupon code is set to, so this will give you 10% off the Insider Access Pass membership, where we put all of our uncensored content, and of course the PayPal tip jar. As always, you can access it here through the site, or of course on the screen now, and I'll bring that link down here for you as well. So Janine, let's start with Elon Musk as the story tonight. You made this quick video before you left for your little vacation here. Give us a quick upbeat of what was in there, and perhaps I'll ask you a few supplementary questions to that as well. How do you want to set this up, Janine?
Well, I had a look at just what side is he on? Is he real? Is he who? Because a lot of people sent me side-by-side pictures of him from years ago. He really doesn't look a lot like he used to look. You know, one of those kind of situations. And we've seen that a lot in this big world situation. We have been noticing that a lot of people aren't who they present themselves to be. Right. So I wanted to know, okay, is he working for the good of the whole? He's saying the right things in the media. I mean, he even tweeted that he wanted to buy Canada to save us from basically Trudeau. Right? So that, like, he's saying the right things. So he sounds like he's on the side of the humans, but a lot of people had concerns because his past is really interesting. And turns out he's originally from, I believe, South Africa. And he's from a very, what used to be known as an elite family. I don't like calling them elites, but a family that's likely dark cult connected. And the big rumor is that he's been, brought up in those ways. We'll just
inculcated,
say. Yeah. And that so he could have been swapped out. So there was all these questions around him. And I just wanted to get to the bottom of it. So I deep dived on him.
Okay. Well, so folks, you guys can go check that out. That's on the Tarot by Janine channel now. Let's ask about this. This is a follow-up here. This is the censorship czar here at Twitter. She makes about $17 million per year with this whole program. And a lot of people are saying that she could be one of the first ones here to get the axe under Elon Musk. Let's pull some cards on that. Is he going to be making significant changes to the staff, specifically the staff around the censorship algorithms that they're running, or is he going to be status quo, or even go further maybe in the censorship? What do the cards have to say?
So one of the biggest things it looks like he's going to do is, or the way I got it when I was looking at him was, it's not him. He's being used. So he's allowed his image to be used because he's made a deal with the white hats. That's what I got. So what I'm getting here is he's going to help bring out how it is censored and how censorship works. So he's going to lift the veil on what they've been up to, just how they do it. And so it's more about that. So it could take a while before you really see big results coming from him and his takeover, or I guess he's not really taking it over, but he's got big shares or whatever. Okay, so he'll have some influence for sure, but he's actually working on behalf of the white hats, but not because he's loves humanity, blah, blah, blah. I think it's because he's made a deal and he's, facing some situation in the future.
Well, that's interesting. So, okay, before I go to this slide, then let me backtrack. There was another one that was interesting. Wall Street Journal was claiming that perhaps there was a shadow crew of a bunch of billionaires that got together and basically who were backing Elon to take over Twitter. Now, do you see a shadow crew of billionaires doing that for a selfless act, or is this an indication perhaps of the white hat group? Is the Wall Street Journal telling the truth here, or are they talking about something else and they're trying to go away from the narrative? What can we figure out here?
Okay, so they are covering up who's really behind it. Who's really behind it is good people working for the good of humanity. They've been working on it for a really long time. So if some of them are billionaires, they're working with the white hats. And this is interesting. That's our galactic helper that's in the past. Mm-hmm. So there could even be some wisdom coming. Like this could have been put in place by what I call galactic helpers. Mm-hmm. I know that sounds kind of corny, but you know what I mean by that, Jean-Claude?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So wise old souls that have been helping, and I think they're part of what we call maybe the alliance. Okay, so they're giving advice and whatever. I think they brought this deal together.
Right.
And, so it's all been done in secret, and you're not going to know who really is behind it. So I don't think it's definitely for the good of humans. So
wouldn't it be hilarious if there's Trump money behind this takeover? Do you want to ask that?
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of billionaires in the back. Okay, is there Trump money? Trump family, Trump connection, pro-Trump movement money behind. I'm saying that word too many times here. Mr. T, Mr. T, Mr. T. Of course, here, is there that kind of money here behind this backing? Because some would suggest that, yes, Elon was acting as a disruptive agent and that perhaps he would use that to merge somehow with the Truth Social media platform.
Okay, it doesn't look like we're ready to know exactly where the money's coming from.
Okay.
Because those aren't very definitive. And then this card was backing it up here underneath. So this is still in the dark about that. So that's a mystery on purpose. It's coming from all kinds of sources. So if he's one of them, it's not saying no, but it's not definitively saying yes. So sometimes cards can be elusive like that. I guess we're not ready to know that yet, or they don't want to divulge that yet. But this 7 says there's lots of sources and they're very unique and they're not at all who you'd expect. So another way you might think about that, because it's coming from a unique source, I'm thinking maybe it's the money they froze from billionaires who were in the dark cult and or using party substance and
got caught. Involved in trafficking, got their money seized.
That's what I'm thinking that's meaning.
Yeah.
So it's not directly saying yes, but it's saying it's coming from a very unique source.
Yeah.
And the money's sourced in a really unique way.
Yeah, and this picture is probably more apropos. You see the libs there melting, I'm melting. Of course, that's interesting. And his bucket there, he has free speech. So, yeah. Wow. Crazy times. It's so far anyways, knock on wood, I'm cautiously optimistic that this is
me too.
a very positive move, but we might have to wait a little bit longer. Sorry, I'm distracted. Move over to Beyond Mystic 3. Yes, okay, so there's still people looking in the other chat. Hold on, folks. I'm just going to retype this with the link for the audience members who are still waiting in the Sending Ravens video queue. There you go. Let me bring that up here, and let me just go check your video again, Janine. Hold on. Some people don't look at their Twitter, so they don't know, and they're still waiting. Okay, there's less. There's about 100 people in there right now still waiting to come over. Okay, hopefully that message will help them out. Okay, let's move on to our next question for tonight. There's a lot. Okay, so in the last couple of days, I was away, by the way. I took little mini vacations also, Sarah and I just relaxing. But a lot of emails in the queue about the threat of nuclear bombs. Let's just say it once. And so in the news also now we're seeing a lot of weird different references to it as well. So here's Russian TV warning Britons that there could be drowned in radioactive tsunami by singular nuclear sub strike. Let's get into that. There's two things. There's Kim Jong-un also saber rattling, I think as of today or yesterday. But let's look at this one here. There's a lot of weird stories coming out that Putin has to go get some cancer kind of treatment and he gave the reins to somebody else. That seems a little bit weird for now in the timing, but let's start with this one. A lot of people asking, is there possibility of this type of acceleration here of the hot war? Let's pull some cards on that specifically for now. My big guess, it's a big fear kind of tactic to bring us all our energies down. But what do the cards have to say?
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So it seems really disruptive. Here's what it actually is, which is gossip and innuendo. And none of that's actually going to happen. Wow, that's wild. And the near future is the Ace of Cups. So something completely different is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the overview. Don't get drawn into fear, because this guy unnecessarily wakes up in the middle of the night fearing things he can't do anything about anyway.
Right.
Okay, and all of those swords are going the wrong way. So in a tarot, the way tarot is understood, when the swords are sideways like that, it's the information is not correct. So he's wasting his time worrying at 4 a.m., you know, one of those kind of cards. So I'm thinking it's saying this is a big, you're going to waste your time if you're going to worry about that. And there's something altogether different going to show up, you know, that'll take our attention away to something else. And it's a much more peaceful card than what this is what they're trying to get you to think about. I don't know who they are, who's in charge of that part of the movie, but it's really going to be a lot different. Things are going to get resolved in a lot different way than what's being presented.
Well, let me ask you as a possibility. I was talking to Julie earlier before the show, asking her for a slide deck for another idea, but she mentioned that this eclipse, the May 16 one, I forget all the details she gave me, and forgive me, I don't speak to her level of astrology. But she mentioned something to the fact that it would make sense that this eclipse, the May 16 one, would give perhaps Mr. P in Russia full control of the theater of war, and that's at that point that a lot of the information would be coming out. So what you're saying there, no, not the nuclear threats, but bombs nonetheless, tower card moments nonetheless, but it would be information about what was hidden there and who was involved all down the line of that money stream. Biggie.
Yeah, you're on to it. And
Okay.
and then what's really going on is this is a cloaking kind of card. And so they're just trying to cloak and get you to think or look elsewhere. So that leads me to believe that maybe the stories about him going in for some cancer treatment might also be false, but we could have a look at that if you want.
Sure, let's look at it. I thought that was, again, just propaganda, or they're trying to drum up more money, because for a lot of people, okay, let me just backtrack here. The censorship is going to make this difficult. But Mr. P, as he's known, is more of a moderate than some other components in his cabinet. So in that sense, he wouldn't be pushing as hard as other people might be if they were elected. So if they say that somebody else might take over for a while here, maybe they're drumming up fears here, or new budgets, or new preemptive strikes, thinking, oh, well, if this guy takes over, it's going to be worse out there, so we have to send more nukes, more tanks, more troops, or whatever. Is that what was happening with that narrative, that perhaps he would be replaced here, even if temporarily? Was that the move there, or is there something else afoot? Let's see what the cards have to say.
So I don't know if that story maybe originated elsewhere, because this is somebody from far away made the story up. Surrender. So the story got out there, but it wasn't coming from Russia. So it can't be one of those, like what you described sounds like an internal move. This is looking like the story was generated elsewhere. So that's somewhere far away, distance. Look, somebody's looking from a distance and drummed up the story.
So either propaganda or tactic or
yeah.
Okay. That's what it looks like again, but the fog of woo is thick here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very interesting. Okay. I think that's the best we can do on this show.
Maybe they're trying to weaken him.
That or strengthen the resolve of some of the people who are losing right now, thinking that there might be a change, stay in the game a little bit longer, don't pay for your energy bills in the ruble just yet. We might have an opportunity. Like, you know how they do this. Like it's a lot of tactics and power plays. Okay, what's going on with Kim? He's saying he's warning of a preemptive strike if they're threatened. Again, on the same weekend here, a lot of talk about these particular weapons. What's going on with him? Is he just playing the cards, also raising or actually lowering the frequency into the fear bandwidth? What's going on?
And that's interesting because I don't know if it was Julie that mentioned this, but I did read that the astrological lineups that were happening were the very, very same. I think it was Friday or Saturday. I can't remember, but they lined up to the degree and everything, the very same as when World War II happened. So that's interesting. So I think that when you say those words and all these drummed up stories sound kind of to me like a way
they're desperate to start this narrative and actually start this in order to cover their tracks here.
That might be how it manifested.
Right.
That energy manifests somehow.
Echoes of that past alignment. Yeah. Okay.
So the way you asked that, you're wondering if there's any truth to those rumors. Is that how what you're wondering?
No, I'm wondering what's the message behind this particular, again, just propaganda, fear. Is there another deal being made here with North Korea that we don't know about, and that's why it's in the news?
So it looks like a creative, so this is working together. So some entities involved there are working together in a creative way to put things out there. Again, what are they trying to put out there? That's kind of drumming up that fear element again, right? That scare element. Here's what's really going to happen? Nothing, something totally different. This card surprises you.
Yeah.
And it's far less, certainly nothing like that. We can't say the words here, but it's nothing like what this card looks like. It's more like this. Look at this card. So a surprising thing will happen, but it's nothing like what's been talked about there in those stories.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Let me go to the PayPal tip jar and we'll come back to some of the news stories. A big thank you to all of you supporting the show. I really appreciate that. Tonight, before I do that, yes, I have a pyramid from Carla, and I have to shout out a name. Carla sent me an email earlier today for the winner of Rosa, I think from 2 weeks ago. That pyramid has not yet been claimed, and that winner was Nedzin Bags. So Nedzin Bags, if you're watching this, you're the winner of a couple of weeks ago. Carla sent you a couple of emails. They might have gone to your spam. So if you don't have them in your spam, also just email me directly to their website and I will connect you so we can send you that amazing pyramid. Now, for tonight, we have a brand new pyramid here on the screen. Let me see if we can bring this up. Tom, thank you so much. Tom. Okay, so that is Natalie. Let's see what Carla has to say.
Carla from Ascension Organized, and today I have another new design for you. Her name is Natalie. So Natalie was inspired by a very important person in my life. I made her with the intention of bringing good luck, serenity, abundance, prosperity, overall a very powerful pyramid. So she's made of 2 crystals. She has citrine crystals and aventurine, which are both known for prosperity and abundance and good luck, and also the brass metals, and bring it together with the tree of life in gold. So I'll give you a quick turnaround so you can see her. And there she is. That's Natalie. I hope you guys like her, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.
Absolutely love that one. Thank you, Carla. And of course, you can get one of these creations for yourself also by using the coupon code BeyondMystic. You'll get another 10% off, and you can find those at ascensionorganites.com. So once again, Nedzin Bags, you were the winner for a couple of weeks ago. Please look at your email or contact me so we can send that over to you. So a big thank you to Carla, and a big thank you to all of you in the PayPal tip jar. Let me start with Regina. Let me see if I can bring this up on the screen. Regina says, Regina Matthews, thank you, Janine. Your spirit is so light and beautiful. I wish you did private ones. No longer do private sessions, Janine. So this is why we're here on YouTube.
Yeah.
Thank you, Regina. Nonetheless, Laura, I think, let's see, Laura. Can I do this one? Love to you both. Okay, bless you. Okay, question. Did my parents make a deal which put me in the dark? Can we get into that here? Do you understand the question?
Oh boy. Yeah. So that's going to be really hard.
Can we do a general reading to see if perhaps the intention of the parents, what perhaps was done, as opposed to mentioning the names and the locations?
Yeah.
How could we be helpful to Laura? Is there a way you can?
Okay. And we should tell the viewing audience that the word Klein, there's an O where that I is.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she purposely did that so she'd protect us, which would be great.
Yeah.
But so she's wondering if she was involved there due to her parents.
Right. Or let's do that and then see what universe can tell her, maybe that could be of supportive or to her highest good. Let's put it that way. I hope, Laura, that helps. That's a tough one here for the YouTube algos. And I'll be with you guys here in the Insider Access Pass. I'm seeing some good questions here also, so we'll be there very shortly.
Okay, I'm not getting that. I do see issues with her parents and not trusting. So maybe both parents, mother and father, not trusting, because we've got that 5 of Swords. So it's coming from a lack of trust and issues that there were, obviously, and I'm not saying there weren't issues, but I don't get literally was put in that program. Okay, so here's the near future. Boundaries are what the universe says she needs to have. These people were really hard on her, or one of them for sure, maybe both. I'm thinking both. And very difficult people to be brought up by, no doubt. But absolute boundaries and finding her own spiritual path and her own spiritual family and not feeling tied to that family would be a really good idea, because they're vibrationally not. And I know people they're like, okay, you have to deal with your family. Yeah, to a degree, but sometimes learning to deal with your family is learning to step away and have a boundary, even though they are your family. Because even people that really love you, they can be some of the biggest abusers. So it's important to learn that it's okay to step away from entities and energies, regardless how, and you can catch up to them in another lifetime. When they're a little more reasonable and not going to be physically putting you in harm's way or intellectually or mentally in harm's way.
Right.
So I feel like she needs to know that it's okay to step away from, but I don't get a yes on her question. No, I get a no.
Okay. And energetically, the mention about the boundaries, I think, is very helpful for her, and to concentrate on that. Okay. We'll leave it at that. Again, it's a difficult one for the show. Karen, let me see. For many years, okay, this is, there's a lot of tough questions here tonight. Well, let me see if we can tackle this one. For many years, we lived next door to someone who does black magic and has made our lives extremely difficult. What do you see happening? Or what can we tell her about this situation here? What does she need to know, Karen? Or what does she need to do? Whoa.
So the biggest thing to do is create your life where you don't include being manipulated by black magic. So if you believe you can be manipulated by black magic and you have that, you're allowing that. Like this is going to sound kind of weird, but I've been around all kinds of people that someone could have said was doing those kind of things. Okay. But that energy is not more powerful than your self-love and personal empowerment. So the only way out of those kind of energies is to not allow that energy, like don't even fear it. So fear is your biggest you'll attract exactly what you fear. If you fear that they're so powerful in their black magic, you have to diminish the power of their supposed black magic. Okay, so I do that with the dark cult. I do not fear the dark cult. They are not messing with me this lifetime. So this person might have been messed with in other lifetimes to even have that karmically around them. So they have to train themselves to not be defeated by the fear.
Yeah.
Well, it's not about you can do something about them. You can do something about your own spiritual energy that doesn't allow. So it's a boundaries again. So now we're talking spiritual boundaries. I worked with people my whole life, 35 years, one-on-one, complete strangers, some of them with not good intentions coming into a reader. Trust me. And I even had some people that were planning likely really bad things and they wanted a reader's opinion about it. So they're not working for the good of humanity. We'll just say that. Right. And I had to work with those energies. Okay. But I didn't allow, first of all, I didn't fear them. And secondly, I just had really good boundaries, cleared my energy. This person's going to need to learn to clear space and work on personal spiritual boundaries using tools like they can look up. There's various different things what resonates for them. I love salt baths. I have feathers hanging everywhere. Like I have my way of doing it, but that took my whole life to develop. So this person's going to need to work on developing spiritual practices that don't allow for this and to eliminate fear. So we're all doing that because we've all been dealing with black magic. It's been all around us. We've been literally manipulated by it in our food sources, in our, everywhere. Every system's been infiltrated by it. So that's exactly what everyone's facing. So this is advice for everybody.
Right. Okay. Before I go to the PayPal tip jar, also, we're talking about black magic and the influence here. I believe that a lot of that is resulting in physical changes, maladies of sorts, cancers of sorts. Like this has been used for a long time in this way. And just this weekend, I got a note from one of my dear friends, 30 years, almost 40 years into the making. And she just told me that her brother is now dying of cancer. So he had very little notice. And there's very little time left, is what my friend told me. So I would like to ask the audience members to join me in sending them both a lot of energy here and love and support. And hopefully we can turn that around, energetically speaking, with the power of everybody on the show. Janine, while we focus everyone's attention and intention on that, can you perhaps pull cards also, either for my best friend in terms of words of wisdom or for her brother, whatever universe wants to bring forward here?
Yeah, it's going to be really hard going forward. It's going to be really hard, and it feels like it's really hard to talk about. I wonder if this person is your best friend, maybe facing the situation where they can't really talk about how that really happened and how they really this really was created, like just how the world creates these kind of things. Right. I wonder, is your friend red-pilled? Are they?
Yes, they're, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But I would say her brother is not.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm getting. And
Right.
sometimes you can't really talk about what you think really happened.
Right. Wow.
Right. And I'm facing the exact same situation with my actual own brother. So when they talk, they're thinking it's created some other way, but we kind of know that really how the world created these kind of situations. And again, I have to be really careful with my words. So I feel like they're treading a fine line where they can't really talk about these things. So just literally loving and spending loving time with the brother.
Yeah.
And just really loving them all the way out is their only, like the only thing they can do right now. Just truly love them and unconditionally and let them go. And remember that they'll be with them forever and be back again anyway. We're gonna these people don't leave us, really.
Right. He's leaving behind children and young children at that too. And he's one of the good guys. He's a police officer and a really good one of that. He lives in a small, remote, rural community where police people actually help the community. You know those days when those actually existed. Well, he's still one of those. And so my heart goes out to him. Thank you, everyone, in the live chat for all the support, and also for my friend who's losing a brother. A very difficult moment for her, for sure. She just lost her dad not too long ago also, so there's a lot of changes there. Okay, again, big thank you to all of you supporting us with that. Okay, let me see if I can get into, there's a question about the Johnny Depp, and it's scrolling so fast. Okay, is the Johnny Depp Amber Heard civil trial helping to expose toxic feminine to the masses? Sandra B. Okay, there's a lot with that story. So that's the first one. Let's start there. Is this trial meant to, because it started with, oh, he's the bad guy, he's the devil incarnate, and now the tables have turned, and this person is apparently, at least now in the way the narrative is being supported, and again, I'm not making any judgment, but is it meant to also maybe, as the question is asked here, expose the toxic feminine?
So that's a yes.
Okay.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah,
right?
who would have thought, right? Wow.
Yeah, well, they've been, but that's a thing, though.
Yep.
And you bet it goes on both sides. And and then but it might also expose something to do with 12 and unders. What's coming out in it?
I'd rather not get into too much details. Just taking it easy again on the censorship. Again, another friend of mine just lost a channel, 250,000. So I know it's, guys, it's really crazy, and you have a strike on yours. Well, okay, that's interesting, but let me go forward too. Is it possible also that this trial was originally maybe a fabrication of sorts, or was timed specifically to bring Johnny Depp into the news because he's coming out with some new movies in Hollywood? A lot of people thought that perhaps he had disappeared. He was missing the party substance. He wasn't looking his best anymore. And suddenly he's going to be doing this comeback. So I'd like to focus maybe the question there for now. And we could always do a deep dive, maybe, or a special investigation on the uncensored version. And on that note, guys, there's a lot of stuff you guys are asking us about Hollywood people. So we might do a specific Hollywood show and try to cram in as many people as we can here. So was it a timing also maybe to relaunch the Hollywood career?
It does look like that, actually. But it's interesting because I feel like maybe Johnny Depp's working on the good side. I can't remember. I did some deep dives on him with Ashley, and I can't remember what we got around him. I just know he was involved in the bad stuff. But then did he end up coming over? And this was about 8 months ago or a year ago. So I'll have to go back and watch what we were getting then. But now it looks like he's launching something in a more like, this is a more healthy way. And he might have been made to do it because that could have been part of an agreement. That could be like, so it's part of his justice. So he's been served some kind of justice, and possibly this is part of. So now he's working to expose something. So who knows, maybe the movie will even expose things. and or going forward, we're going to see him exposing things. But it looks like he's working on behalf of the good guys here. And it could be part of a sentencing and or a tribunal type thing, and or because he's definitely been on the bad side.
That's just crazy. Okay. I didn't expect either of those answers to come out. So whoever, Sandra B, that was, okay, thank you for that question. Okay. This is I'm not sure how to read this one. Okay. The Wolf Husky, again, from the Insider Access Pass. Question for Janine. Why am I dreaming about military activation recently? So activation, military activation. I thought he was going with the abduction, but he's talking about military activation. So do you read that as him being recalled to active duty? Is that how you would read the question? Why am I dreaming about military activation recently? The Wolf Husky. However the cards want to read that, Janine,
Yep.
let's see what we have for the Wolf Husky.
He's been working on behalf of, like, I feel like he has a whole nother lifetime that he's living at the same time. I think maybe a lot of us do. He's been working actually in a capacity that is really connected to what I call the Galactic Helpers or the Alliance, and they're tied to the White Hats. So I think I'm starting to think the Alliance is the part that it guides the White Hats. It gives them the big overview and advice on how to proceed that's best for humans and best for the world in general.
Right.
Okay, so he has some kind of, he's working with them, and maybe it's trying to tell him that. Maybe it's giving him a heads up about.
And he's reading that here as in something that would be here in 3D, but that's not really what the dream is all about. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I think it's about something that's going on parallel to his life.
Wow.
So if he was in front of me, of course, I'd ask him more details, and then we could get to the bottom of that.
Right. Okay, cool. Somebody's reminding me here in the Pop the Bop. Yes, Cliff High has a cancer ward series on his YouTube channel. He doesn't post there anymore. I think he can't upload it to that anymore. But these videos are still up there. And for some reason, they left them there. And I think the censorship felt bad for him. He, of course, survived cancer quite a few times. And so he had put some videos out there on his approach on studying and learning how to perhaps prevent and also heal. So for the people who are maybe in the same shoes as my friend, if you know anybody in your family right now, because this is becoming more and more apropos these days. I just saw a commercial that it was normal for kids also they're normalizing that for children right now. I saw that in the news this week and I was like, wow, absolutely crazy. So anyways, guys, do go check this out. It might be of help to you and your family here. Okay, somebody's asking about Three Gorges Dam. JC, yes, the Three Gorges Dam. We haven't looked at that for a while, Janine. The last time we had a lot of secrecy, things that perhaps had already broke that we didn't know about that were being fixed. There was rumors of perhaps underground facilities there that were being hidden by all of this. Let's just take a general update on what the cards would want to share with the audience here.
So we've got cloaking again. So a lot of things happened already there that we weren't privy to. So they've been covering it up. So they might have already had huge issues there, like where some communities got flooded and we just didn't hear about it, okay? Because they're really good at covering those kind of things up. And this says, yeah, so a whole bunch of stuff's already happened that's just we're not privy to yet. And it's going to be tied into, we're going to hear about it, in particular when the government, or what I call the positive government, or not government, sorry, military, steps out in a more public way, which I'm hoping happens any second.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because I think that's what really the only thing left to do.
Yeah.
I can't see that mainstream media coming getting shut down. Otherwise, it just gets drawn out too long. I think they got to do that. But anyway, I don't know if they'll take my advice, but.
Right. Okay. I love it. Oh, man. Yes, Janine's cards are glowing tonight. So I think it's your lighting or something's new. But anyways, everything looks great in your new background tonight. I absolutely love it, Janine. Okay. I'm waiting for the wolf guy or whatever it was to see if question my birthday. No. About that dream, if we're right on target. So if you're still in the Insider Access Pass, let me know. I'm curious. If you just heard Janine's reading on you, what you would have to say. Okay, speaking of what you just talked about here, a lot of people are asking, when's this movie going to end? There was a hint today in Zero Hedge that perhaps it could end in 2024, but for a lot of people, that's a long ways away. But yes, Mr. T hinting, dropping here that he might take a run again in 2024. So, first of all, is that what we're really looking at? Or is he kind of implying by this that he's still in the game? And that's really the question we should be asking. And the fact that somebody else might disappear here very soon. Let's see how the cards want to tackle that one.
So there's a lot of secrecy around it. As soon as it comes up or as soon as we ask about that, I think it'll be totally different than that. I think it'll be like neither of these cards are a yes. They're more like it'll be completely, maybe even the opposite of that. So I think something really sudden is going to happen that lifts our veil and, lets everybody in on all of the things that have been going on. Well, at least some of them. I mean, I don't think they'll tell us everything. I think it'll take years to figure out all of these plays because some of them may not ever be divulged how they did what they did. We've got the Three of Pentacles. So he's definitely working together with. So I don't know if it's the numbers that he's saying 2024 has something. I don't know what that means, but it feels like it was more of he's putting it out there that he's working together with the Alliance and the White Hats.
Yeah, at the very least, it says, I'm not going on vacation. I'm still somewhere in the game. That's what that says, at least. So it's kind of like, hey, I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere. At least it tells that to the audience. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely not literal. Not with that part. I said, tell us about the words he's using. It's not literal. Okay, so it's some kind of thing that's a subtle way of saying something else. So he's not talking literally. What I'm getting.
So this other character, a little bit, we talked about what was on Real Raw News, I think last week or the week before. Yeah. Now this is in Zero Hedge. And of course, a lot of people are saying, hey, where was this guy? What's going on? He's kind of disappeared. And here, Zero Hedge reporting that he ditched the White House event over a COVID risk. And then, of course, he got cozy with another weird person who might have disappeared recently from CNN, Mr. Lemon.
Okay.
What's going on? What's going on with this story, Jane?
I think all three of those people are processed. And that's why you got to picture them all together and that silliness that's going on. Yeah. I don't think any of those people I think they're all in some kind of deep doo-doo and or even processed or in some kind of level of processing. And when I say that, you guys will have to just put two and two together what I'm talking about. Yeah. South of Florida, there's a spa that they might be at. And or if you believe Real Raw News, and I actually think they tell some version of the truth, this is what I've been getting about Real Raw News. So if you read what they say, it only happened, maybe the dates are wrong and some of the details are wrong, but the essence of the story is correct. So I think they're showing three people that are, so Don Lemon would absolutely be one of them that would be in as big a trouble as that Dr. F guy. And I don't know who that third guy was, but the fact that he's in a picture like that together, that's a calm, you guys.
That's a message. Oh yeah. It's a coded message for sure. It feels like that to you. Like it's just, it just reeks of it. Okay, let me see. I'm scanning here. That pyramid is calling to me like ocean. Okay, Steve. Yes, your name is okay. So yes, again, everybody in the tip jar. You guys are in the draw. Sarah draws this the next morning, and she picks a name for everyone, and then I send it to Carla. So Steve says, "Yeah, that pyramid is calling to me." Okay, which one was it? Did I still have it on the screen? Her pyramid? No, where did it go? This one here. Yes, Natalie. Okay, that one's up. It's beautiful. I love that. Citrine and aventurine in one pyramid. I absolutely love that. Absolutely. A big thank you to all of you guys in the PayPal tip jar. Let me see if I have that question there. Steve, there was no question, but a big thank you. Dina, love your show. Was my late husband in the dark? Oh, okay. There's a lot of cool dark questions tonight. Let's. There's a mood to it. I guess we're in the eclipse season here. We have our first one this weekend, and we have the upcoming one on May 16. So Dina Sullivan is asking, "Love your show. Was my late husband in the dark secret space program?" Seeing as we have a little UFO flying above my head, very apropos.
Definitely in a secret, some kind of situation, and she obviously picked up on that. So her intuition's right on about he was in some kind of secret organization. That's in the past, and it ended in a disappointment of some kind. Maybe even the organization disappointed her late husband. He might have even, did she say late husband?
Yep.
He might have even walked away towards the end of it. I don't think he ended when his life ended. I don't think he was still involved somehow. I think that was ended at some point.
Right.
I think he knew about, and it might have been a program that ran parallel to, or knew about, or nodded to that space program. But so she's close. I think she's really close to what it was.
Onto something. Supplemental, if you can do a yes or no, is it possible that at some point there's information about his work that whether it's a dead man switch or some legal thing later on that could be sent to her to give her confirmation? Is she going to get a physical confirmation, or is she going to get that maybe from these types of non-local information?
Okay, so there's a lot of covering up there. Smoke and mirrors cards. So they create a lot of smoke and mirrors, so it's hard to follow.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't lead to this and this, right? So they know that you're going to be looking for stuff like that, right? So that's smoke and mirrors to the truth. Okay. And it definitely tied to activities that were more what we would call for the dark hats. So that part's absolutely true. And very little would actually be physical evidence, but I think she'll get a little bit, like, because we've got a page. So that's a little bit, like a page is a small bit about the involvement and maybe even the level he was at in it.
Okay. Or
at least even the name of the secret society, maybe, because we know there's lots of them.
Yeah. Wow.
All tying together and being part of a bigger thing. But
well, if ever you do get more information, please call us and let us know. We'll do a show on it. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, guys, if you're just watching this here and you're wondering why the hell is Sending Ravens not working again tonight, this is the reason why. Still in jail. No positive updates as of yet. We're asking you to support us here if you can. Of course, you can do so freely by submitting here to the newsletter so that we can notify you if we lose that channel. There's 90,000 of you there, and if we need to change the broadcasting here, this will be our way to communicate out to you, because Janine no longer has access to send any broadcast messages from that channel as it stands now. You can also support us here with the Insider Access Pass. This is the yearly pass where we put all of our uncensored content on BeyondMystic.net. We've revived this coupon code just for you. I think it's one more day available now until it expires. Janine Jailbreak, one word, 10% off. And of course, the PayPal tip jar, which you guys are using tonight. A big thank you to all of you. Now, the Wolf Husky, thank you, JC. Janine, yes, resonates with me on the parallel timeline assisting mankind. So yeah, he says thank you, and that made a lot of sense to him. Okay, so let's go to perhaps the last one. How much time do we have? We're 53 minutes in. Okay, we could do a little bit more here. Okay, you've read on her before. We've talked about this both on YouTube and off YouTube. This was interesting here. Netflix, which is putting more and more crappy shows on lately, and people are boycotting. Is this a reason why they've canceled this show? They're citing here strategic decisions. But what's really behind Netflix dumping Markle?
When I got way back in the day when I used to do these, I never got they were literally signed up with Netflix. That was all a huge a psyop. These guys are a psyop.
Wow.
They're not real. Okay. I don't know where they actually are, but especially Meghan's not been around. possibly even since they married. Okay, you guys. So go back and watch some of my old work on these guys, because I looked into it for years, and I'm telling you, it's a sordid tale. It was a psyop right from the get-go, some kind of sideshow, so you wouldn't notice how the royals were being taken down by Mr. T. Now that I look back, and back then I wasn't even red-pilled when I first started looking into them. In fact, I was an anti-Mr. T because I was brainwashed by CNN. But I soon, my cards straightened me out right on camera, frankly, and I got the straight goods from the cards, and they kept leading me over somewhere else gently and lovingly, like the universe does. And then I was like, wait a second. Okay, I got this all wrong. But what I didn't have wrong was about them. They were like, just the more I dug, the more it came clear that they were all a big story. And so I don't believe anything. Don't believe anything you hear about those guys. If you look, she's not even anybody who she used to be. She's got about 5-10 looks even, and often CGI. And you haven't really seen her since the wedding.
Yeah.
It's
a weird story.
Place. Like, I'm starting to think that was all a big movie.
Yeah. And the whole interview with Oprah also had so many signs of weird deception. Okay, but anything then that what do the cards want or universe want to tell the audience here about this Netflix decision? Again, they've been in turmoil all week here, well, all year, but recently more so with some of these outrageous shows they're trying to promote and all the following backlash and boycotting that we've seen now. What's going on?
Netflix is barely hanging on as they're in huge inner fighting and crumbling and decay. Okay, so they're huge issues. Maybe they're even throwing that out there just to get some attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. They've been, they're part of the roundup of dark cult related entities in the world. I don't think they're really anything like they present right now. So somebody's probably just been allowed to utilize and keep them going. But these guys aren't anything like it's all been changed right from the inside out. They got all new bosses, it looks like, and they're going to recreate themselves. So they're going to have a whole new look probably in the next year, where they're going to rebrand, recreate, not even be remotely the same. It's not even the same company, really. So everything's been gutted, and it's because they were in association with what we're fighting against right now in this world situation.
Okay, that's very good. Stephanie is asking why, or is silver... I think this person's first language is learning. Is the silver price drop of late because of good guys? I'm trying to read that. Because of good guys trying to give opportunity. Okay, I think I get the gist of the question, Stephanie. So basically, let me see if I can bring this up. Okay, hold on. What's in it? Okay. Kitco, gold, silver prices down more than 2%. Perfect storm hits commodities market. Now, of course, they always packaged it up for why it goes up and down. We know it's absolutely manipulated. It has nothing to do with these events. It has to do with somebody on the computer screen. But what Stephanie is asking is this perhaps a good guy op here? Either way you look at it, a lot of people into silver would be depressed right now in the sense that the price have gone down. They're under pressure right now. But what she's seeming to suggest here is that perhaps this is a good guy op to let more people get in before the price actually goes ballistic, as you and I and Julie have been forecasting in the last Beyond Crypto Woo and Astro Woo show.
I'd say so, because this is where it's going. So it doesn't look like it bottoms out or keeps going down. I mean, you might see some dipping, but right now, that's a secret ploy going on. So that something's going on with the financial world altogether that it's somehow a reflection of.
Wow.
And it's trying to draw your attention to something because we've got that big judgment card. Okay. And maybe to the secretive ways that they manipulate these things.
There was an article. I was away this weekend. I didn't pay that close attention, but there was something about the Russian gold backing of the ruble and how maybe other countries would soon follow suit. Which, again, this is what we were expecting here in this new world, this new financial world we're going into. So perhaps this is kind of a last-minute ditch effort here, an opportunity to get in. Guys, if you haven't seen the Astro Woo Finance yet, it's available now on pay-per-view, also to the Insider Access Pass members. The May 2022 forecast. It is the month of months since we've been doing this show. It's quite a few months already. But yeah, there's convergences happening in May. So if you haven't seen that, please do go check it out. And also the Beyond Crypto Woo for May as well. And here we also get into the cryptos. So in the same way here, crypto has also been under pressure. I think Bitcoin was at 38,000 earlier today when I checked. Again, perhaps the buying opportunity here before this panic to own sets in. And apparently we're almost there in the Webbot data in terms of these emotional tensions that are being forecasted here, I believe, starting of May 19th on Cliff's chart, going up to 2-3 months here into the summer. So quite a few. Yeah, go ahead.
I asked about silver's health, and it looks really good. So this is just an overview manipulation. I think it's a yes to her question, and or if she wants to use it that way. Yeah.
And Stephanie, I'm not mocking your language. I'm French. I have to think in French and translate, and it's hard sometimes to type this in. So a big thank you. Maybe they use Google Translate to make that happen. So a big thank you to all of you for all the questions. I do my best because I know sometimes you guys type it in French. I read it out in English to the audience. So a big thank you. Okay, so guys, if you're looking at getting some physical silver into your position here, the Miles Franklin special for the Beyond Mystic audience is still these 100-ounce RCM Royal Canadian Mint bars at $4.45 over spot. That's at beyondmystic.net/silver. And for the Canadian audience, you can do so here at mfbullion.ca. And there again, we have the Swiss 10-ounce pamp bars at $5.99 Canadian over spot. Absolutely amazing prices there. Yeah, crazy times indeed on this silver market. Again, if you go back to see the was the Beyond Crypto Woo? No, the Astro Woo, the timing for silver is actually prior to gold. So if you want to understand why that timing was, go check out this episode here, and maybe that can help you hedge your positions here and better your stack, so to speak. Okay, Britt, Marie, thank you so much, Janine and Jean-Claude. Well, thank you so much. I love that. What are we at? Right now we're in. Okay, Janine, what do we do? Last words of wisdom? Anything else you just want to put out?
Yeah, let's just see what the universe wants to say in parting here.
Okay, very good. Also, I have a quick update. Talked to Julie this morning too. They're almost on top of all of these last orders, shipping them out. And I know I've got a lot of emails from you already receiving your candles and telling us they absolutely love them. So yes, you can find those at maisonjupiter.com. You're looking at the boutique section. And I believe somewhere here, I have a discount code for you guys too if you're looking for the candles. Yes, Beyond Mystic, one word, will give you 10% off of these amazing candles as well. Janine.
So I think with all of these energies that the weekend brought, we need to be really careful we don't get all blue and down in the dumps and sort of in our worst case scenario thinking, because that's when we're susceptible, to buying into all the fear propaganda stuff. Okay, so we're going to have to really fight hard at staying on top of our game energetically and stay in your own personal bubble. Like Ashley, my son, and I, we stayed in a personal bubble. Like we went out pub crawling, and some people, it was fun because my son's 18 now, so we thought it would be fun. And in Canada, and where I am, we can do that when he's 18. And we just thought, what better a way to introduce him to what a pub feels like, right? So we went to an Irish pub and there was a lot of people still wearing masks. And if you can believe it, and even like walking around Banff outdoors in this beautiful fresh mountain air, and they've got these things on their face. And it's like we had to stay in our personal bubble to stay in a personal being loving and not judgmental, and personally in a good place with where the world's going. Otherwise, we could have really got bummed out because like you got foolishness all around you and sort of depressing fear all around you. And it's like,
Yeah.
Nope, that's not going to bring me down because I know what's coming. And then you look at nature and you just know the universe will have a say. Nature is so incredible where I was this weekend and all around where I live. And a lot of us, if we just get out a little bit in nature, we can, it could remind us that we got a whole new world. Here was the outcome, a whole new world coming, whole new things are coming, and things will get better. Like, yes, it's hard. It's hard. It's been hard, but we are being marinated.
Mm-hmm.
And we can do this. We can do this to get to this good stuff. We can do it, you guys.
Absolutely. And to all our Canadian friends, hang in there. There's a lot coming down the pike. We're probably going to do more of these questions on the Wednesday night. Just as a quick update, I was in Ottawa this weekend also. I did see some of the rolling thunder, nowhere near as big as some people had reported. In fact, what was funny, at the restaurant on Saturday night, we had made this reservation, I think 2 months ago, Sarah did. And when we got there, the owner was like, how'd you guys do? You guys didn't cancel? You guys didn't have trouble getting in? And we're like, well, no, we were here for a day already. We were at the hotel. And he says, oh, because a lot of our reservations couldn't make it because of all these street closures and the way the cops had the checkpoints and all of that. So yeah, so there was a lot of that going on. So I think they were successful in mitigating and preventing a lot of the accumulation of the bikers. But nonetheless, there was quite a few people hugging, kissing, having fun on Parliament Hill, just walking and waving their flags and flipping the bird. You know who. So anyways, that was still kind of funny to watch. So there's a lot of that going on, but you could still see in the air, this movement has not gone away. And for now, this weekend, it seems that the cops had the upper hand into preventing a lot of accumulation of people in certain spots here in downtown. But we'll get to those questions, the travel, the mandates, this new Moderna factory that is being set up in Montreal that was just announced also over the weekend. So there's a lot there. We'll be looking at that on the Wednesday evening show. There's a lot there, guys. So a big thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. This was Tarot Readings by Janine, and of course you can find her work at Sending Ravens on YouTube and also Tarot by Janine. And please do come over here and Beyond Mystic 3 also, and subscribe for now, as we are only broadcasting these shows here on the Monday and Wednesday night here for now until we have good news for the other channels. So you can do so at Jean-Claude at Beyond Mystic 3. I love you guys. Merci beaucoup, Janine. Have a great evening, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Au revoir.
Au revoir.